we've sort of not talked about it, and I feel like now's just as good a time of any because you kept saying that Tony looked good, Ludwig Borga looked good. We even read in the notes here from the Observer that Luger was down 65 pounds over the last year, 30 in just the more recent weeks. What we're not talking about is the steroid trial. In 1992, McMahon believed he was going to be indicted, so he closes down the WBF, which was a failed venture. But around that same time is when we start to see problems with Davey Boy Smith and the Ultimate Warrior, who had been as big as a house, and now the edict is down. Hey guys, we can't do that anymore. So come 1993, when we're trying this whole "I'll be your hero" Lex Express stuff, I don't think we're talking out of school to say that Lex Luger was on steroids. But if he's going to be the top guy, and this lawsuit, when you're in the fight of your life, is looming in the background, you probably got to get your house in order a little bit. And Lex becomes the incredible shrinking man. Do you think the lack of commitment to seeing this thing through and putting the belt on him was also a concern of, well, if we put the belt on a guy who looks like that, it doesn't exactly help my case,
right?
The United States government. Does that have more to do with not going with Lex than maybe we give it credit for?
I'm not sure. It's a good theory, and has some validity, no doubt about that. So I would say yes. It probably had a lot more to do to play. It had a lot more to do about it and to play into it than we've discussed. A lot of those guys too. You see them, the steroid guys. A warrior kind of guy who their mindset is so tied to their look that when they see themselves, I used to see Lex at TV and I would, even in both companies, and he knew I was bullshitting him, but for a second there, he would really have been relaxed a little bit and fell for my line of bullshit. But I see him all the time and I say, hey man, are you feeling all right? Yeah. What do you mean? I said, oh, nothing. Oh, really? What do you mean? Well, it looked like you might have the flu or something. You look like you lost a lot of weight. Then not walk off. And that would bother him.
Of course.
They were so dependent on their look because they knew that they weren't that great bell to bell. They weren't great enough bell to bell to, they weren't great enough bell to bell to just let that work be the foundation of your career. Because now they're looking at their physique is so much a part of their presentation. And a lot of guys, when they had to come off the sauce, they lost a lot of confidence. They thought they lost their ace in the hole. Well, I might not be the greatest worker. I might not be a Funk or a Briscoe or some of that stuff, or Flair, Shawn Michaels, but in that era. But at least I look good. So when they go off the sauce, they still look good, Conrad. You and I would take Lex Luger's physique 30 pounds off right now.
Yeah.
If I had his physique, I'd do this show shirtless.
Yeah.
Do this shit all the time.
No, yeah. You just be down at the pool all day flexing.
Yeah. That's silly. So I think that steroids can have multiple facets to your psyche. I know a lot of guys that want to rationalize and say, well, I do the steroids, or I've done the steroids for recovery. And I'll say, okay, I'll go out on a limb here and give you that. But let's be realistic. You're doing steroids because of how it makes you look, not how it helps you recover. And I think that's kind of what Vince saw with Lex. He wasn't the same head turner at smaller size. Downsized Lex Luger was not as impressive walking through the airport as a bigger Lex Luger, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of where that's where that story kind of comes together as far as steroids are concerned. Personally, I'm not against steroids. If you want to, if you're under doctor's care and you're getting all your blood work done and you're adhering to the medical practices that you're being managed by a doctor, have at it. But other than that, you know, if you're self-medicating on anything, that's wrong. And if you're using the steroids as if I just got on the gas, I could get over, total bullshit. Well, if I get on the gas, I'll get over. Total bullshit. I've always believed that. But at the same time, it sounds like a American politician. I do believe that if they're properly managed and under doctor's care, it's not the end of the earth.